this ranked match on Hesse between Zio playing 20th Panzerna and myself playing 7th Panzer. Now before we go into deployment and the game, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. It will immensely help me with growth. I don't care about ad revenue or money. I already finished my studies and I'm full-time employed. I have a family. I do this as a hobby, but increasing my channel membership would increase the reach, so I could show this to more players and hopefully more people could learn on properly how to play ranked games in Warno. I'm also providing one-on-one teaching, and I'm also planning to start streaming and commenting on Broken Arrow games. So let's go to the game. By the way, if you are interested in coaching, just let me know. Either write a message in the comments or PM me directly on Discord or Steam. I have the same nickname. So 20 Panzerna is a division with very good early game. Well, actually, even the mid and late game are good, but this division, which Zio is playing, allows you to be hyper aggressive at the beginning because of those honkers, which are very fast. As you can see, he just managed to arrive at this point of my sector just at the same time my Mochutsen SVD came with SPW-70. So I knew that he would try to perform some early push. I just didn't know if it will be in Emma or Nicholas or Elena. It can be any of the sides, to be honest. So I deployed a highly mobile force into the center, which will allow me to flank to the left or the right. This MI2 already is spotting his push. So what I did, I moved most of my central forces into the right to counter his attack. My idea was to eliminate his early push and then strike him ideally to the sector Anna, where his forces would be lacking because he's pushing from there. I deployed a cluster because I saw this huge blob, and I'm already targeting those T-55As while my Mochutsen are stalling the enemy while the rest of the forces will arrive. The cluster plane arrives. Zio failed to spread his tank and he lost all 4 of them, which means that his push objectively failed. Now I knew that, so I saw what happened thanks to having recon Mi2 over here, so I started pushing very hard. T-55 and T-72s are going down the road to get into the L-shape striking, so I'm fighting from this vertical side, but also this horizontal, so I can push and hopefully encircle his troops. Additional 2 SPW-70s with Mochutsen SVD were called in. He's calling Seria 30, one of the best 80 planes in the game. Now he managed to kill BMP-1 and the second should just kill the T-72M. Now you might say, well, you still have quite an advantage. However, I just think this meant that I lost the offensive potential, because T-55s and some infantry are not going to cut it. There will not be enough for a push. But I'll try non-endless, because I was really sure that he is nothing over here, but to my surprise, Zio called another medium heavy tank T-72M1, one of the best cost-efficient tanks in the game. So I just rerouted, or more said, resent my units to the Anna to quickly cap it. I also managed to sneak around with BRM-1K to see whether he is reinforcing or not, and this would give me information about my ability to push. T-72M nicely killed Mochutsen in SVD, and Shilka opened fire on my Mi-24D, making the complete completely useless. And maybe probably even kill. No, it survived. So now the problem is, I have no way how to deal with this T-72. One Moschützen was already killed, and this one's just taking position in the building and is no way to push further. I just brought MiG-23 to prevent him from performing another airstrike like he did, and the cluster plane is supposed to take out T-72 M1. The problem is that these medium tanks have top armor 3, so I managed to kill Shilka, but the tank survived. Also, Kub just managed to shut down my cluster plane, which was very unfortunate. I saw that the T-72 M1 is now disorganized, low cohesion, so I decided to try a push. However, it's hidden over there, so I can't see it until it opens fire. In the meantime, Zio is testing my defenses over the central and the right flank. Not many troops were sent to the left. MiG-21 BIS AAs moved to finish off my heli. I had to retreat my cluster because I did not want it to lose it. And Strela and Shilka finished off his fighter. Now the cluster plane is going to kill his tank, but before it went down, it just killed another Moschützen, which means that now I have no quick way to deploy over here, because those Moschützens were killed in a transport. T-72M was killed, but he has another T-72M. And I still have left only command and basic T-55s, which means there is no way I can eliminate and get into his sector anymore. Furthermore, he killed my recon and he is now reinforcing heavily. So now it's basically failed to save. Safe to say that both of our pushes failed. His push failed over here when I managed to cluster his tanks and push him out, and my push also failed as he managed to stop me even before this crossroad. T-72 just killed my command T-55, and this was the final straw. I realized that okay, I can't push anymore. I had huge losses, so both of our early assault and the counter assault failed, but I am currently 254 points in advantage, which means that Zio has to strike somewhere in order to eliminate this advantage and get ahead and win. Because remember, ranked games are played on conquest, not destruction. So this is a bit quiet section where no one is really fighting. I knew that my opponent would probably forget about pushing it to Nicholas and start pushing either Emma or Elena. So I started to reinforce the central and central left positions. And my idea was to let him assault and then inflict devastating loss. And after that I will try to counterattack again, and hopefully it will work that time. His BWP recon managed to sneak behind unnoticed. This would give him very good information about my air deployment and maybe even the ground. His optics are only good foe, so but I think that's all he actually needs at this position. T-55s were moved to the center. I was feeling that assault is coming, so I tried to move it into where the fight might take place. And I also sent some supply vehicle to prepare my other units, but it's empty now. Strela Tanem is also sent to the center, and I just saw that his command BWP followed by T-72 are coming. I was fortunate enough to snipe him just before he had the chance to get into the sector and eliminate it, so he still got no tick, and I opened a crossfire with those SPW Concours to his T-72M. Concours are excellent at defending positions where enemy might push with armor. Some players also use them to utilize their speed and good cover to go around and do some sneaky kills, but I don't do that. I rather wanted to use them frontally. Special of Clara were deployed to have a better vision over his possible strikes. These units have a GSR, which means the optics will increase after remaining still for a few seconds. One of the T-55s was dead, probably killed previously by T-72. This one is being repaired, as was damaged before by Concourse. He is now pushing with Piechota's mech, and as we can see, he's not calling only mortar, but also Danas, which are very good artillery. Very similar in effectiveness to French AMX ALF 1, I believe. T-55 was about to shoot T-72, but it smoked. Concourse is firing on BMP-2, as was spotted by Special Offcloder. It deployed the smoke, but it was too late and it got killed. And the Concourse is now firing to another T-72, which he sent from the start, but probably forgot to move elsewhere, as it was not supposed to get here, I guess. Mochutsen almost get a side shot. Oh, they actually did a chance, but they missed. And now they're getting killed. T-55 opened fire on his recon. They actually can fire on the tank, so will they be able to score a hit? No, but they killed the recon. And the 72 just fired back and almost killed the 55. Now I managed to find the BWP recon, and now I get the supply back, which can be sent back to base for 40 points. A chopper was brought to provide fire support, however he should be bringing more AA to negate that. And I'm redirecting my T-72 M1s, which are the best tanks I have in my deck, to try to fight his central push. I had no use for them over here, as the range was quite significant and he's pushing with everything here anyway, so that's why I decided to move them back to the center. T-72M with T-55 are also coming. The fighter was aimed to kill my Mi-2, but Shilkai Srila shot it down. Seria just showed my T-72, but I was lucky that he didn't kill it, but he killed with second missile T-72M, which was moving down close to these buildings. PWP opened fire with the Concourse on T-55. It managed to score a hit, killing half of the HP. Now this is very dangerous. He managed to use smoke very properly, just in a way that it blocks my line of sight. So I have to move out of the cover to be able to shoot at him. However, this was not really successful, but I managed to deploy smoke and run safely. What is Zio currently missing is a command vehicle, because he could already get over here and cap. My units cannot fire at him, and this was extremely unlucky, as I lost both Mochusen SVD and Special Offcloder in the trucks and transport respectively. I brought some Euros to reinforce and repair my T-72s. Concourse just being, it's already been rearmed, so it has back all 10 missiles, which means this road is completely covering, along with this highway over here. Oh, it's actually not highway, it's a trainway. I saw that he's coming with infantry into the forest, so I had to fall back. I probably forgot to move this T-72 M1 as well, but I just reacted and moved it back. Now he got fire superiority over this road and here, so I have to bring my infantry all the way from the side in order to be able to push over here. If I would get infantry over here, I could easily shot his Shilka, T-70 or BVP-2. MiG-23 ML and another MiG-23 ML are over the skies, securing the air superiority. One of the weaknesses this Polish 20 armor Pancerna has is that its fighters are very weak, although his choppers and AA are just enough to deal with anything I bring from the air, so it's not really a huge disadvantage. Now, I was fed up with his smoke being used so much, so I decided to use my RT to strike at his mortar. He still did not kept the middle zone, but command T-72 is already on the way, so that might change soon. My RT did not manage to kill his mortar, but it's at least the cohesion went down, so... But it doesn't really matter, as in case of smoke you don't really need that much of precision. He's building quite a formidable AA. 2 cups were already brought and both are triple vetted. That's interesting. He's also using his artillery, currently aiming at my troop concentration. They'll probably kill the concourse very soon now. Another layer of smoke was just deployed. This is a very difficult situation to push from. And my RT is again striking at his mortar. Maybe it will succeed this time. And indeed it does. It was lucky that it did not for the first time, it's just a 2 HP squad, so... Concourse is firing at his commander. But it missed. Oh no, it was actually firing on Shilka, which got killed. So, BMP-1 managed to somehow sneak around, getting a side shot for T-72Ms, and now my push is starting. Mi-8 rocket is killing his recon. My T-72M was killed by his tanks, and now his tanks are pushing into the front. His command was killed. I think that was a huge mistake, because now there's nothing up-vetted his T-72M1s. Double vetted will be much more effective than with 1 veterancy. But he's got a lot of them, so it doesn't really matter anyway. 80 planes coming, missing honkers. Clustered plane just arrived and killed in 1 strike 2 PWP-2s and 1 T-72M1. Another Su-22 came and killed T-72M1, which is the better version. And now his Cubs, although they did not manage to score any hit, they ran out of the ammo, which means that I have now a lot more possibilities to strike him from the air. But I didn't know that, of course. You want to have at least always 1 supply vehicle near your Cubs so they can reinforce. Piechota's mech was killed in BWP. T-72M is being fired upon by BMP-1 and from here and here. These ATGMs are very slow but are actually good to stun, which just happened. Slowly attritioning this tank. In the meanwhile, I'm repairing my T-72Ms, and I'm also bringing another 2, 1 command version. His MiG-21 BIS is hovering on his side of the map, looking for some potential targets. Motschützen with Spezialaufklärer are getting control over the buildings, and I'm just flanking with BMP-1s. I think I managed to kill one of his Danas, yeah, over here. So good job, BMP-1. That's very effective for the price, and unfortunately they will not be able to deal with T-72, so smoke was deployed, but we will not probably save it. Now I'm able to push back. T-72s are trading shots, and this one got killed. Wow, look at the turret, how nicely it flown away from the hull. He just brought 3 squads of BWP in of Piechotasmech in BWP2. Reinforcements are arriving, and another 2 T-72Ms are on the way. This could be a potentially huge push from my side, but I think I still want my enemy to try push as a first. If I manage to force him to push and deal him a damage, then I could easily reroute elsewhere and get to some of his sectors. He's still on +2 and he just got a slight point advantage over me. If I let him ticking for a long time, he can build up a huge advantage, which means that later I will be the one who has to push. Now we are on a draw, but that will change very soon. Mochutsun are going to push into this side of the town. Piechotasmech is in no way to be able to deal with my Mochutsun. MiG-21 Bis did not drop its missiles and it got killed by Kup. Kup can one-shot MiG-21s because MiG-21s have only 8 HP. This Dana is providing fire on T-72Ms, but it's not doing much damage. And now I'm starting to push. So what we have here, we are in 1K, BMP1s, T-72M, T-55, and also some T-72 and T-72 Command and basic T-72M behind. But this push is not going very well. Artillery is going to strike on his blob, but it will not be very precise. Now I lost my recon with exceptional optics, so I actually don't see his troops, but the 80 plane managed to... oh, actually did not shot, neither did this. He still did not reload his coops, and he just now ordered the supplies, so my planes would be able to land some hits, hopefully. I managed to do some good kills, so my tanks can now push. But looking at his current position, I still don't have a significant advantage, and his planes can arrive anytime soon and deal easily with my push, so I have to be very careful. So many tanks destroyed and so many destruction over this part of the highway. So I'm bringing Mi2 because I realized that I need some proper recon in order to see some of his tanks. Coops managed to fire, but this was again only by one shot. They missed, but they managed to make 80 plane to fall back. Now his fresh T-72s just arrived, taking hits from my tanks. This was almost killed, but it managed to smoke and is now falling back. His Seria 80 just finished off my tank, but it was only T-55, thankfully. And I have another 2 80 planes in the air, but I have to hurry very quickly because supply vehicles just arrived. But Zio decided to fall back, which was quite intelligent, I believe, because he knew he's losing the positions over there and the positions were not now very manageable. One shot was fired on T-72M, but it was missed. The plane is now getting chance for another pass. It did not shot. Another plane is in the skies, but it did not shot. Probably the targets were not visible. Mi2 is just arriving to spot the targets for the planes, and the 72M was killed. There is still another shot, so it will turn around and probably make one more pass. Kup is now reloading, but it's been killed by 80 plane just before its missile was ready. This is actually the time I just realized that, oops, I have an air dominance. His AA is probably destroyed or not functional at the time. So I try to spam more of the air. I think one of his cubes died somewhere over there during the fight. Look at the destruction, look at how many of those vehicles have been killed. Another 80 plane is coming, but there are no proper targets, so it's taking turn to achieve some side shots. BWP was killed and Dana was almost killed. Now, I was thinking that all I need to do now is to repair all of my troops, because I managed to save a lot of tanks to not get lost. When I repair all of them, I can either push frontally or reroute to elsewhere and try to attack from to other sectors. And in the meanwhile, I'll be sending planes, killing some of his tanks, and getting advantage on the ground by that. My artillery is now firing on his artillery, but I think it already moved over there. Yeah, but it's still hitting some of his T-72s, so at least it's getting cohesion hits. None of my planes are ready at the moment, and I just bought another bunch of T-72s. I think I got enough tanks for a big push, but whenever you are going against good player and you know he still has some reserves, you have to do it intelligently. If you just attack move, you might get yourself killed, because as you can see, he prepared a nice set of ambushes. There's ATGM here, ATGM over there, there is AA squad going there, ATGM over here. So whenever I will try to push this road, I would get insta-stunned and finished by the tanks. So that's why I decided to approach differently. Because you don't want to attack where your opponent is prepared, you want to attack where your opponent is not expecting. Or at least is not as strong as you might be able to push. I just brought another artillery piece, so now I have two. T-72M is trading shots with BWP-2. I deployed smoke, but it was too late. It got hit, so needs to be repaired. So my tanks are now stacked. The artillery is firing on positions which I know he is occupying, and his artillery is firing on my T-72M, but it will not be probably able to do much damage. He also deployed some ATGM and additional infantry over here, expecting that I might push this side. Sorry, but this is not what I'm going to do, so these units are in the way. Wayne will not be used. It just costed him points that he will not use. So we are currently trading artillery strikes, and I'm not doing much of the damage, but if I kill some of his units, it's good. Firing over here will make him think that I want to push down this road the same way as he pushed, but he probably doesn't know I'm going to completely redirect my push elsewhere. Well, maybe I'm getting a bit of ahead myself because I'm talking about something I still haven't done, but I played this game, so I knew what I'm going to do next. That's why I'm telling that. Ural trucks resupplied my artillery so it can keep firing. This is also very important. You want your artillery to be resupplied so it doesn't lose the ability to constantly deliver damage. He now has one last coup, which means that with Shilka he doesn't have a strong AA anymore, and he also doesn't have a good fighters. Therefore I can still utilize my close air support. And now the push is coming. He is almost he's more than 200 points in advantage, so I have to take some of his sectors in order to get a tick. And now I'm pushing with T-72s. The command variant deploy the smoke, and now they're spreading away, slowly pushing into there. So recon infantry is pushing as well to provide the very needed recon, so I can spot all his forces. His Wilks have been placed very good. These tanks, although we should spread them, but they are very well able to stop my push. But if you are deploying Wilks against T-72s, you want to have them a bit in the back, because you want to utilize their range advantage. They have a larger range and damage than T-72Ms, but up from the close they are losing the advantage, which I'm just going to do. Now, he should fall back either further now because of that. This is very weak ATGM, it's not going to do much damage, and he has practically nothing over here. The Su-22 Syria is coming to hopefully snipe some of my tanks. And it managed to kill one of my T-72s, and it missed the second shot. His Wilks, along with his commander, upvetting them. Wait a second. Is his commander providing 2 levels of upvet? That's weird. My cluster plane is coming to hit the middle Wilk, and it does. Remember, the treetop armor will not mean that it will not kill them most of the time, but all of the tanks' cohesion went to the low, which is the lowest possible, and now I'm free to push into the middle. If I wouldn't make that cluster strike, I would probably not be able to push, but now I am, and I'm following up with infantry. Those are going to unload right over here to kill all these possible counterattacks from the close. Because of the slope, he has to go above and over here, where they already get into range of the 80 rockets of the units. Now he is redirecting T-72Ms. He knows where my push is coming, but he doesn't have spread his units properly, and he's coming in mass, which is not giving me really advantage, but the same way as I am. Now Syria's managed to kill only 2 BMP-1s. Inside one of those was infantry, so this was not very successful use of them. And my 80 plane now arriving, and it didn't manage to score any hit, but everything was already achieved I needed to. Now Zio is getting into +2 disadvantage. I can very easily take him down as 7 minutes are still remaining. So I decided to also move one of the command tanks over here to cap this sector to get a +4. I managed to accommodate myself in his central sector completely, and I'm pushing a little bit over here as well. His Kup was destroyed. Now he doesn't have any longer range AA, and his Dana killed my T-72M from close range, but it was just killed before it shot with my T-72. And Zio knew that the situation was hopeless. He completely lost his armored squad, so he decided to throw the game. Zio, very good player, currently rank 44, Colonel. He is not missing many points to get into the General branch. I personally am currently rank 29, Brigadier General, and I have just over 1000 multiplayer games. Zio has more than 600 games. So let's take a look on kills and losses. So this cluster plane managed to stop early his push. This was crucial to get my counterattack, but then he managed to kill 2 of my tanks with Syria and stopped my push with T-72, so we did not manage to get any early advantage above each other. Cluster plays were really doing their job, same as my T-72s, and therefore I think that was very successful use of the Air Force. I was lucky that his Kups kept missing. Sometimes when I would expect them to hit actually, but I was also very lucky that Zio did not manage to supply them properly, so half of the time those scopes were without missiles, giving me ample time to strike whenever I wanted with my air. His Syria was also a very good asset. By end of the game, he a bit panicked, sent 2 Syrias at the same time, and those did not kill much of my push. If he would manage his Wilks a bit better and have some proper AA to stop my last cluster strike on his Wilks, then those Wilks will be probably able to stop my late push, endgame push. But it's how it is. I managed to trade very well. This KD gave me such an advantage that I could overwhelm him in the end and managed to win. Even though I had less conquest points, I was about to get ahead very quickly. So this is the end. Thank you for watching. If you like this kind of competitive ranked matches, please like and subscribe for more, and see you later. Bye bye.